Hi everyone. So today I will be answering the questions on subject of the formula and solving equations with respect to algebra. Alright, so without further ado, let's get started. So I will do these 5 subject of the formula questions and I will do all the odd numbers in the equation solving worksheet, right? So in question 1, in all of these questions, actually, they want us to make x the subject of the formula. So, subject of the formula simply means that x needs to be by itself on either of the sides. So in this question, q is actually the subject of the formula. As you can see, it is by itself on the left-hand side, and everything else on the right-hand side. So this is a very simple one. To make x the subject of the formula, all you need to do is get rid of the 7. Okay, so this 7 here needs to go. So what we do, we move it to the left hand side, and because it is a positive number, when we move it across it becomes a negative number. So the q will remain here, but this will become negative 7 and to be equal to x, and that is actually our answer there. X is by itself and it's now the subject of the formula. Similarly, in number 2, it's more of the same. So r is equal to x minus 3. The only difference here is that this is a negative number, so we need to move it to the other side. And by moving it to the other side, it will change from a negative to a positive. So the answer, r plus 3 this time, is equal to x, and x is my subject. From here, it gets just a little more complicated, but not really. So 5x is equal to s. Alright, that's actually a bad letter to put because the s and the 5 is very close together, but you know what I mean. So in this question, 5 is being multiplied by x. So to get rid of the 5, we need to do the opposite of multiplication, which is division. So if we divide by 5 on both sides, we will get x on one side. So the working will look something like this. So if we divide by 5, it will look like 5x over 5, and the 5 will cancel out with the 5 to get x, and this will be s over 5, right? And that is actually our answer. X is equal to s over 5. There you go. And that's my working there in green. Number 4, 3x plus 1 over 2 is equal to h. Looks very complicated, but we can work bit by bit to get it less complicated, right? So the x is in this huge mess here, right? So we need to tackle this mess bit by bit. So I don't like when the x is being divided by a number, so I want to get rid of this number first. Right, so this is a division by 2. So just like in 3 when we had a multiplication and we needed to find the opposite of that, which was division, in number 4, because there's a division, the opposite of division is multiplication. So what we do, we multiply both sides of the equation by 2. So if we were to do that, our working will look like this. 3x plus 1 over 2 multiplied by 2, the 2 will cancel with this 2. And on the left hand side, you will simply be left with 3x plus 1. But remember, what we do on the left hand side, we also do on the right hand side. So this will be 2h, right? We multiply the h by 2 as well. Okay, the next thing I look for now is this number here. I could simply, just like in 1 and 2, move it across to the other side. So I move this 1 now to this side, and my equation will look like this. 3x is equal to 2h minus 1. Remember, it's positive 1, so when we move it across, it becomes negative 1. And finally, just like in number 3, where we had the 3x, that's a multiplication, so we divide by 3. And by dividing by 3, we will get x is equal to 2h over 1 all over 3. Remember, we have to divide the entire left side and the entire right side by 3. Okay, so that is my answer there. So the final question in this one is this. 3z is equal to x over 4 plus 1. Okay, let's take it bit by bit. Immediately, I could see something over here, this plus 1. I could move that to the other side one time. So this becomes 3z minus 1 is equal to x over 4. And I don't like this over 4 thing. It's a division. So to get that out of the way, I need to multiply. That's the opposite, right? So by multiplying, I have to multiply the entire left side by 4 and the entire right side by 4. So this becomes 4 multiplied, and I could put all of this in brackets here like this. Right, when we're doing this, you don't necessarily need to go and say 3 by 4 is 12z and minus 1 by 4 is minus 1. Yes, you could do that, or you could just put that in brackets and then put a big 4 before it. That says 4 multiplied by 3z and 4 multiplied by minus 1, right? It's the same thing. And you will get x. And that is my answer for the subject of the formula questions. Now, let's move on to the solving the equation worksheet now. Right, as I said, I wouldn't do all because it's a lot. It's like 16. I'll leave some for you guys to do too, right? However, if you still can't get through to any one of them, you can always let me know. So question 1, I'll put it in blue. (17x plus 12 is equal to 54 minus 4x. Okay, so a general rule in the algebra, when there are things that look similar, we try to put them together. So because we have a x here, 17x, and we have a minus 4x here, let's put them together, right? So the first thing I do, I move this negative 4x from here, and I put it over here. So this becomes 17x plus 4x, right? Negative became a positive. And I could also, in the same move this plus 12 over to its number, the 54, right? So we put the x's together and we put the numbers together. So this will become 54 minus 12. So the plus 12 became a negative. So 17 plus 4, you get 21x is equal to 42. 54 minus 12 is 42. And just like in our subject of the formula, this is 21 multiplied by x. So to find x, we divide both sides by 21. So this becomes x is equal to 42 divided by 21. And it so happens 21 can go into 42 exactly 2 times. Okay, you will see that if you put it in a calculator. And x is equal to 2. Very simple. So let me do number 3. So number 3 is 4x minus 4 is equal to 3x plus 2. Okay, so the same story again. I take the things that I know, the 3x, I put it across to this side, and I take this negative 4 and I put it on the other side. So now everything is together, right? So we will end up with 4x minus 3x, right? The 3x becomes negative, will equal to 2 plus 4. The negative 4 became plus 4. So 4 minus 3 is 1. So we could just write x instead of 1x. We don't write 1x, right? We just write x is equal to 6. And no further calculations required. We have found x. Very simple. Okay, let's try number 5. 9x plus 2 is equal to 7x plus 15. This is another one again. We take the x's, we put them together. We take the numbers, we put those together. So we are going to end up with 9x minus 7x is equal to 15 minus 2. Okay? By now, I'm sure you guys getting the sign changes. So 9 minus 7 is 2x. 15 minus 2 is 13. So this question isn't going to work out exactly to a number, but a fraction is fine, right? So 2x is a multiplication. To find x, we divide both sides by 2. So x is equal to 13 divided by 2. In case you forgot the division working, the 2x over 2, that will cancel out to get x, right? And remember, we have the 13 over 2. We can leave the 13 over 2 as it is. There's no need to change it into 6.5, right? That's not necessary. All right. Sorry, not number 6, number 7. And again, more of the same, right? So practice makes perfect. 5x minus 3x is equal to 36 minus x. So on the left hand side in this one, we have 2 x's, which is good, we like that. But on the right hand side, there's another x here, right? So we take this x and we move it to this side. So it's going to read now 5x minus 3x, but this minus becomes a plus x, right? Is equal to 36. So 5 minus 3, that's 2x, but remember we have to add on another one. So this becomes 3x is equal to 36. And the same story again, this is a 3 multiplied by x. We divide both sides by 3. So we end up with x is equal to 36 over 3. That could actually work out very nicely. And that gives us 12. X is equal to 12. Let's take a look at number 9. 30 minus x plus 12 is equal to 3x plus 2. So again, more of the same, except we're just doing a little more moving now, right? Alright, so I like to get my x's together. So I watch this 3x and I want to put it over here. And now I have 2 sets of numbers here, so I need to move the 2 sets over there. So I bring all of them over here. Alright, and we work them bit by bit. So we are keeping that minus x over here, minus x. And we move the 3x, right? We are moving that 3x, so when you move it to the other side, it becomes negative 3x. We're keeping this 2 over here. Now we need to move the 30. So this becomes negative 30. And we also need to move the 12. That actually becomes negative 12 as well. Alright, so let's work them out now. Minus x minus 3x, that's actually minus 4x. If you don't understand how that works, type it in a calculator, type in minus 1 minus 3, you will see that that equals minus 4. Okay, so when you're kind of merging together two negative numbers, it's like you're really adding them, but you're just putting a negative sign in front. Right, so you know 1, negative 3, that's like 1 plus 3, which is 4, but you put in a negative sign in front of it. Alright, so you could think about it like that. So this is negative 4x, and let's see now. We could actually just put this in a calculator if you're having trouble working it out. So 2 take away 30 is actually negative 28. And then negative 28 take away 12 now is negative 40. So again, take your time, put it in a calculator, and you will get it right. Negative 40. Now remember what I said, when we have two terms on either side with a negative sign in front of them, we could actually just get rid of the negative signs altogether. So if negative 4x is equal to negative 40, 4x is equal to 40. So let's move on to number 11. 9x minus 16 is equal to 3x minus x minus 5. So we have entered the world of brackets now. So a general rule is that whenever you see brackets, you like to work on that first. Okay, so let's take a look at these brackets here. Now the bracket is a minus sign associated with the bracket, right? So this is saying that this negative sign needs to be multiplied by this x and multiplied by the negative 5. So we need to learn some rules. Let's revise the rules again. So a negative number, this is actually negative 1 by the way, but we don't write 1. in algebra, right? So a negative number multiplied by a positive number, like a positive x, will yield a negative number. So that will become negative x. However, a negative number, negative 1, multiplied by another negative number, which is negative 5, will yield a positive number. So this becomes positive 5. And so we have dealt with the bracket. So let us rewrite everything else in the equation now. Right. So now we could start moving our stuff. So the 3x, the minus x, we could actually work out that right there. Okay, so let me work out that one time. So I write in back this. So 3x minus x is actually 2x plus 5. Now we can move the 2x over to the other side and move the 16 to the other side. So this then becomes 9x minus 2x, and that will equal to our 5 plus 16. The negative 16 becomes positive. So 9 minus 2, that's 7. And 5 plus 16 is 21. We love those numbers because the 7 is multiplied by the x, so we just need to divide both sides by 7. So x is equal to 21 divided by 7, and we all know that is actually equal to 3. Okay, so the brackets does not necessarily make things harder. It just takes a little longer, okay? So let's take a look at another bracket question here. So 2 into 5x plus 1 is equal to x plus 2. Okay, so we have brackets again, so let us focus on those brackets. This one is actually even easier than the first one. So again, the 2 needs to be multiplied by this number, and it needs to be multiplied by that number. Now everything is positive here, so there's no need to worry about signs, right? So 2 multiplied by 5x will give us 10x, and 2 multiplied by 1 will give us 2, and that's equal to x plus 2. Alright, so let me move my x from here to this side. I move my 2 over to the other side. So this becomes 10x minus x is equal to 2 minus 2. Okay, so 10x minus x will give us 9x, and 2 minus 2 gives us 0. Okay, so I don't know why they in this question put it equal to 0, which was weird. But we have to do the maths, right? So again, we divide both sides by 9, and 0 over 9, well, that's still 0. Okay, so x is equal to 0. Alright, that's actually what the question said, so I am just doing what they said. And finally, the last question, question 15. Now we have more than one bracket in this question. So 3 into x plus minus 2, minus 2 into x minus 3 minus 5 is equal to 0. Okay, so a lot of movements need to happen here. So let us do it bit by bit. So let's work on this bracket first. Okay, so 3 multiplied by x, 3 multiplied by negative 2. This will give us 3x minus 6. The 3 by 2 will give you minus 6. Now let's take a look at this bracket here. So the minus 2 needs to multiply by the x, and the minus 2 needs to multiply by minus 3. So minus 2 by x is simply minus 2x. But minus 2 by minus 3, remember 2 minuses make a plus. That gives you plus 6. Okay? And then you have your minus 5 equals 0. So let us put our x's together. So we have a 3x here and we have a negative 2x here. So I'm simply putting them together. I'm not actually moving them across the equal sign yet, right? So their signs are not changing. I'm just moving them on the same side. So this is still minus 2x here. And then I have the minus 6 and I have the minus 5 equals 0. Okay, so now I can work out some stuff, right? I can move the 5 over here and I can move the 6 over here as well. Or before I do that, I could just work them out and then move them. I think I will do that to make things simpler. So 3 minus 2, that's 1. So yeah, that's x right there. And then minus 6 minus 5. You can put that in a calculator, you will get minus 11, right? So when you're adding two negative numbers, just add them like you would regularly add them. So 6 plus 5, that's 11, and you put a negative sign in front of it, okay? So all I have to do now is move the 11 over to the other side. So x is equal to positive 11, okay, not negative. We moved it across the equal sign, okay? So I hope that this video helped you with the questions and aided your understanding of algebra, how to solve equations, and also how to find the subject of the formula. So thank you very much.